It's Thursday night. Welcome to the HammerFist podcast, brought to you by MMA Fight Pass. With the support of the people here at Spike and Rail, we are live, courtesy of Lepler Digital Media. Also with support from Visalia MMA, stomping out the competition since 2005, Eddie Algary. If you got a gym or just a fight fan, want to gear up, that's the place to go. Don't go online. I know a lot of people in this day and age go online because you want to get the deals. You go to Eddie, you can touch it, you can kick it, you can hold it, and you can take it home all in one day. Props to all those people that take care of us. Welcome. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, a safe one out there. We got a heck of a show, man. We got Big Al getting ready to launch his pro career here. And I got my cohort right here, Van Palacios. Hey, shout out, buddy. You get a hell of a job with Joe and Javi, man. On the spur of the moment. I've been sick, as you can hear in my voice with this darn flu, but things are getting better, and we're here today. Going to have a heck of a show. A lot of stuff to talk about, man. A lot of activity going on here in the Valley, Central California, Fresno in particular. December 7th, they got two things happening. Fight to Win, a big, huge grappling tournament. I mean, the who's who of grappling in the Valley and actually the surrounding areas, Northern and Southern California, are going to be taking part. And also Combate America, they're going to sit down their cage at the Save Mart Center. And
it's like Christmas came early.
It did for Fresno. And then we got some guys actually tomorrow night. Anthony Ruiz from up in the mountains, what is it, Oakhurst?
Yep.
Firefighter by day and fighter at night. It will be making a kind of, I guess he never left, but periodically he'll take a fight in Bellator. Chris Honeycutt also, Fresno. And then on the Ultimate Fighter, Alex Perez from Lemoore, California, is fighting probably the biggest fight he had so far as being in the UFC with Joseph Benavidez. That's going to be a definitely a good fight, so support all the local fighters. And then shout out to Marion Renault. She just took up a fight January 26th in Anaheim, California, and I think tickets are available, go on sale actually December 7th. So look out for that bulletin so we can hopefully get together and go out there and show her support there. Now, let's talk about the show. Big Al, man, finally got you on the show.
Yeah.
Dude, you set a trail, burning a trail in the 559 fights, doing your thing. And unfortunately, you like they say, you have a win or you have a learn. You had to learn this last one. Now you're stepping up, gonna get paid a little bit. Things change up a little bit as far as even training, get a little bit more tools available for your arsenal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But how's your training camp for this upcoming fight?
It's been going really good lately, and I've been learning a lot, and I'm excited, man. I've been wanting to go pro for quite a while now, but I know that I needed to get my experience in with the amateurs, and like I was saying, in a year and a half, I got 8 amateur fights in, and I've been fighting back to back, and I'm just getting ready, getting prepared, man. I really want to make this happen, and I really want to launch my career and make a name for myself and put it down for my town and for my family, and I want everybody to know who I am and what I'm doing.
Hey, from the news I've been hearing about you, from other promoters and some local promotions and stuff like that, I'm not just excited, they're excited because finally the date's coming where Big Al's going to be doing his thing, man.
Yeah.
And, hopefully everything will work out for the best. You seem like a level-headed kid. You know what you want to do. Basically what it takes to get to that next level. You surround yourself with some good teammates and a good camp and stuff like that. So we wish you the best. Van, what do you think?
He's got 8 fights, and you said you had a Muay Thai fight recently too,
Oh
right?
yeah, no, I had a Muay Thai fight before I started my MMA amateur.
And with when I was thinking about your career, and I watched you
fight 7 times, you know. And with that recent loss, I think that was probably a good thing going into your career.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, you've had such a high, and you were just killing people as you're going through. I mean,
a lot of people were saying, "Oh man, those guys ain't on your level. Like you need to fight somebody better." I'm like, "Well, I ain't pulling out of no fights. Every fight that was given, thrown my way, I accepted it.
Yeah.
I denied 2 fights, and it's because the guys weren't. They didn't even have a record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would rather fight somebody with a good record. That way, I can get my experience in and actually use amateur for what it is. It's to get your experience.
Yep.
So I'd rather fight somebody who has experience. That way, when I go pro, I'll be ready. You know what I mean?
because you're taking the leap now. And
Oh
so,
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
And you get dividends now for your fight training, and with the coming off the loss, I think that, in my opinion, that will give you the aspect to be humble and be able to accept what's coming in, and kind of, instead of running on this high that you're going to go in and say, I mean, God forbid the fight coming up doesn't go your way, that would be the biggest shock in the world. Now I think you have a wider eyes and you have a bigger facet going in. I mean, with your training, you showed us that video on the different strikes. I mean, with your elbows and everything.
Oh yeah.
What do you like best about your training camp now? Because I mean, they have to be able to transition now.
Yeah, I actually got a new coach, Manny Mancha. It's hard to pronounce his last name, but yeah, I've been training with him, and he used to fight in Glory Kickboxing.
Oh yeah.
And he knocked out one of the dude was ranked number 6 in Glory Kickboxing. So he has a lot of experience. He has a lot of tools, and he's been working with me lately. And I feel really confident, and I'm super excited to put on a show and let everybody know that I'm coming to shine.
Well, what weight you fighting at?
185 middleweight.
Where's your weight right now?
I'm at 190. Like
Perfect. Okay.
yeah, I'm perfect. I'm
Oh,
good. I've been eating like crazy. I burned.
And he's a big kid.
I lose
I
weight.
didn't realize
quick.
he was that big.
I lose weight really fast.
Well, it's just you're tall and long armed. I mean, it's crazy because I mean, talking to you and just you sitting down, you don't really understand how big you actually are going into this fight.
That's why. That's why I
when
call
I
him
see him
Big
walk
Al.
in, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
he's a big kid, man.
Because watching him warm up, like and when I was cornering a couple of different guys when you were fighting, and watching him warm up, and when he generates out of those, you either pop on the mitts, and you can tell when somebody's hitting and not hitting.
Yeah.
And I was looking at him, I go, what is he weighing? And they tell me, and I'm like, really? You just don't look that big. And then I'm looking, and you stand next to a normal sized guy, and I'm like, no, he's pretty big.
I used to be like 200 and almost 40 pounds, like 230, and this is back when I was getting into trouble and stuff. I've been shot 9 times on 2 different occasions, and I went down a rough road, and I had to realize and see what was right for me, and man, I've always was interested in being a fighter, and I've always wanted to be a fighter ever since I was a kid, and now that I distance myself from what I used to be involved in, and I'm doing things for the better now. I'm turning negatives into positives. I'm being a role model to my younger brothers and to other people, and people are looking up to me, and I really want to be, because obviously fighting is very violent,
Right.
You know what I mean? But I want to express myself in a positive manner.
Just, I mean, coming from we've all had knucklehead past, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and then once you get the chance to step in a venue and actually have lights on you, and you're using what you used to do and scrapping, the violence that you used to do on the street that nobody knew about, that you were running away from, I mean, people are running towards you now. And so with the younger generation that's going to be able to see you, the people around you that you get to influence, I mean, that's amazing at being able to do this. And now you're doing it on a bilingual path that's your next fight. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
and with your heritage, and I mean, people on both sides, what is your next move after Combate? I mean, do you want to continue on in, like, do you want to, like, I went to Tachi and had the whole thing, and we're doing that. I think with the local vibe that you have now, is you want to continue on with, you said you want to put a career together, and I mean, where do you see yourself going? Because
I really want to be I want to be a UFC fighter, and I really feel that, and I have a high confidence that if I keep up doing what I'm doing, that I'm gonna make it there one day. And at the end of the day, I want to leave it's not even really about the money, and it really hasn't been. I want to leave a legacy. I want to invest in things. I want to have things. I I want better in life. I want better for my children, for my kids, for my family, for my loved ones. There's a little kid in my head that I dream like a little kid. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I'm super excited. I'm really happy. I'm blessed from the path that I came down. This is just, I can't really say nothing but just to thank God. You know what I mean? Everything's good, and I feel good, and I'm ready to put on a show, and I'm ready to let the Fresno know who I am, and I'm ready to put it down for my town.
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of Fresno already knows who you are. I think you're going to put it on to the rest of the world because I mean,
Yeah,
Combate
that's
is a
the plan.
big deal, man. It really is.
Yeah.
And I mean, with that venue, there's so many people are going to be able to see that and
Yeah.
I mean, get on that listing. And then if you do well with them, you continue on. I mean,
I was just kind of thinking too. I was like, man, I'm confident that I'm gonna do a good job, and I'm gonna get the win when I fight next week, and that they're probably gonna try to offer me another fight contract or something.
that's awesome.
But because my last amateur fight, I sold 140 tickets, and I had people lined up at the door that didn't personally get tickets for me.
Right.
They bought them at the door, and it was a packed crowd. And I've been trying to promote myself and put myself out there and let everybody know what I'm doing. And I plan on having a really packed crowd, and they're gonna see who the main
for
event
sure.
is.
Oh, they'll come.
They're gonna see who the main event is December 7th.
That's awesome.
Right on. I'm looking forward to it. I hadn't had a chance to see you fight personally, but definitely I'll be there. I'm excited. I know I was talking to Richard Goodman from Tachi, and before this fight, and that was kind of the plan to happen after your last fight.
Yeah.
You know, to go there and fight, and then things happen, but hey, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you go in there, get a grip, refine what you did wrong, and
Yeah.
continue to learn it. And as long as you're in the game, you'll continue to learn. No one ever knows everything, like
and
that.
after my 5th fight too, I was planning on going professional after my 5th fight, and I got the win on my 5th fight, but I just didn't like the way that I fought. And I felt like I needed to have more experience, so I got 8 fights in, and like you were saying, my last fight I came up short. It taught me so much, and also like you were saying, I gotta have all that experience when I'm in the octagon, and it was a bloody brawl. My whole face, there was blood all over me, and it happened in the first 10 seconds of the fight. My whole body's covered in blood, and we fought all the way to the end, and I lost to decision, and it really put a big burden on my chest to if this is what I really want or not. You know what I mean? And even when I train and when I'm in training, I'm grinding and I'm pushing even extra hard because that loss is just kind of messing with me lately. But it's messing with me in a good way though.
That's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
In a
In a good way, because I'm
take it for the experience, because there's a lot of guys, man, that I've seen through the years that go rapid through the ranks, and then they get up to this one fight where they had adversity and they don't know how to deal with it, man.
Yeah.
And all of a
That's why-
sudden, that person ain't the same guy that got him there. You had that opportunity that had happened before you got.
Yeah, and then
paid.
it's nothing.
Yeah.
I've had so many losses
a
in
blessing.
life. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? In my life, I've had tons of losses and disappointments and just sad times, and you know what I mean. That wasn't nothing, and it's amateur, and this is gonna be my professional debut. Like I said, I'm really excited. I'm blessed, and I'm grateful for you guys having me on the show.
Oh, no, it's an honor, man. Finally
Glad to
catch
have
up, man, and have you here and spend some time with us, just chopping it up, man.
Yeah.
And, I'm looking, at that fight and then at that situation that happened. I mean, like they say in life, everything happens for a reason. To me, it's like your crossroads. These are the things that can happen, man. Are you ready for this? You ready to go for the next step? Are you serious? We're just starting, And then to be able to endure the whole fight, your whole commitment, and then, come on the short end of that battle. Like I said, it makes you want to step back. But I think you were a winner continuing the fight and battling through, where a lot of other ones would have probably had someone throw in the towel, freaked out and throw out the towel. Because I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Throw in the towel. freak out. And guys that you would never even think.
I cornered
You know,
a guy one time and
you
he
know.
got rocked and you could see it was huge swelling in his eye. And I'm like, hey, you gotta switch stances, man. You're not gonna see this punch coming. He's like, hey, dude, if I get in trouble, let's throw it. I go, throw what? I go, I didn't even bring a towel. I mean, are you kidding me? It was an amateur show, and he's like, but that hurts. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then that happens in the first 10 seconds, and you're like, I went through the whole thing, got a decision out of it.
You can see it in an opponent. Like my last opponent, he looked like he was ready to get it. And there's other opponents, like when I'm in there and I see and I look at them, I can just see they want out. You know what I mean? Especially when they get tagged, they want out. They want the easy way out. And yeah, I'm not. And even in my fourth fight, I lost by Nicholas Maximum. He's a Russian guy.
Yeah.
And he was ranked number 3rd place for 205 pounds, for light heavyweight as a wrestler. He won 3rd place in the country, and he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And a lot of people were telling me, you should have tabbed, man. How come you didn't tab? He put me in like 4 different submissions. He got me in a leg bar. He got me in a Kimura. He got me in an arm bar, and he hyperextended all my ligaments.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't tab, man. I can't do that. Like, it's just he could have broke my arm. I ended up in the hospital with a cast on this arm. My whole leg was all cast up. I mean, I couldn't tap. I don't know.
That's awesome.
And he could have broke it. You know what I mean? I probably should have. That probably would have been a smart way.
Depending on where you're looking, I mean, it's early in your career and you healed up and you don't seem to have any ailments from it. But that kind of tested your heart and your drive to do this. And I've trained with a couple Muay Thai coaches that are from Thailand, and they'd always tell me rough life, rough fighter. And I didn't understand that, what they were saying. But you start talking, like, the more I've talked to people, like, they come from little scrappy backgrounds. Like, they don't. They're like, I wanna do this. And you talk to other people that have had it, they jump in this for just to see what it's like, and you're like, dude, it's different.
And both times I got shot, I was fighting, and the first time dude had called me out, and he was in the street, and I took out my jersey, I threw it to my stepdad, and I jumped in the street with him, and right when I was like, right when he was squaring up, right when I like jumped in to get up with him, he pulled his gun out and he started shooting me. And then my the 9 months later, I was fighting, and I was actually fighting some dudes, and his friend ran up on the side of me and started shooting me. I'm like, man, I can't. They don't want to fight out here no more, man. People trying to shoot me. So yeah, but I ain't into any of that no more, and I'm just I got a lot of pride, man, a lot of heart, and I'm ready to put it on.
Yeah, but there's a lot of guys that's getting in the cage with you that's never been shot or even had a good pulled on them.
Yeah.
So you've had some real life decisions.
That's why when they know my story and they look in my eyes and they know time is already. We about to get it.
We're going for good right now.
Yeah, we're going to the end.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be scary, dude. I can see it already. Right on. But I mean, you have that temperament. You could hear that he is a good guy.
Yep.
You know.
Good heart.
But like I said, those are the ones that are scary because when they go in there, the other person comes out. The introverted person comes out.
Even my first fight, like right after my fight, like I got emotional. I just started crying, like, because my past and my background and for what I'm doing now, I'm super excited. I feel blessed. My family's all excited and. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, that's
good.
it is a big deal because you could do. I mean, I don't know how to really explain it. You're doing something at one point of your life where people will frown on it because it's a negative.
Yeah.
Now you're doing basically the same thing, but it's sanctioned, and now you're gonna get paid for it. So hell yeah, at least you're doing it right.
Yeah.
But I mean, you took something that was negative and you're amplifying it 100 times over.
Absolutely.
Through your voice, through the way that you handle yourself,
My actions.
and the way that you present and look to other people. Like they always say, each one teach one, because each one helps one. Absolutely. Each one helps us all, man. That's life, and if you can just help one person, dude, then that's a blessing you'll have forever.
I used to be a follower, and now I can carry myself highly as a leader.
Yeah, and that's what it takes. God's going to give the strongest warriors the biggest task.
Yeah, I like that.
And it wouldn't come to you if it wasn't meant to you. you know.
Absolutely, yep. Everything
So-
happens for a reason, and God has you here for a purpose, and I'm gonna make sure that purpose is met.
The sad part is that you're gonna go put that purpose on somebody on the 7th. You know what I mean? I kind of feel bad for the guy now. Because I mean, you've been training, you've been dedicated. Like you said, you've been in a 2-year fight spiral. You know what I mean?
And I know my opponent also too.
You know him?
Yeah,
Really?
I know him. I know him personally. Yeah, he's a cool guy, but like, man, this is my dream, man. You know what I mean? We could be cool after, but during the fight, man, this is my dream.
Just give him a big hug when it's done. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's a
We'll get
business.
that.
I mean, you guys are fighting, but you guys, I mean, it's a business.
Yeah.
And it's your career and your money that you need to go make. And so,
And
don't ever
this
lose
is the
track
way
of
that I look at it. Years from now, you know, when things go good and you know, and your vision becomes a reality, you can say, bro, when people look at me in Wikipedia, the first fight I had as a pro, your name will always be there through history. No one will ever change that. You just have the W, you know, underneath mine. You know, but I mean, hey, he's gonna always be part of your history, your legacy. So you'll be for me forever.
Yeah.
My first fight was against a guy named Fred Diaz, and I fought him, and it was a three-round battle, and then we kicked the shit out of each other. And, I mean, we just stood there. At third round was basically both hands down and just swinging. And so, fast forward 5 years, I'm getting ready for a fight, and I walk in to Elite, and Fred's there, and I kind of tilt my head, dude, I got the biggest ass whooping in grappling in my life. I mean, he just threw it down on me, and we sat down. I go, "What was that about?" And he goes, "Cause you kicked my ass standing up, I'm gonna kick your ass laying down." And so, but I mean, from that point on, it just you get an attachment and a friendship,
Like a bond.
Oh,
and
no,
it's
absolutely.
because you fight with this guy, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, like me and Cody's sons, I picked up a fight on a 3-day notice. You told me,
Yeah.
"Hey, you go do it." And now we see each other. We're buddies now because of the simple fact that we just threw down in the ring. And
Cody's
it's-
sons?
Yeah.
Well, you're at
I fought him up in Porterville, and so now he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?"
Yeah, it
I'm
was like
"Hey."
a last minute deal. And then I said, hey, he's looking for a
Oh yeah,
fight.
he's been fighting for a while now.
Yeah,
too.
he has. Hopefully he'll settle down a little bit and get fights more where he should versus this last minute to fight.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the fights he took, you know, out of what his weight class was because he needed money. He was in a bad way, and I can understand that. But now he's kind of settling down, having some people look at him and helping him along where he should be. But he's resurrected, man.
Yeah.
He's doing little things on the positive side, on the upswing. He's
He looked
winning.
good his last fight.
Yeah, and he's
Fought at
winning.
LFA.
So
Yeah, and I went before I broke my foot, and I finally got the boot off this week. But I went down there to go train with him, and his movement's better than it was, and it seems like he's gearing towards fighting, not reacting to a fight. You know, and
Yeah.
and the people you have around in your camps that you have,
I like the way you put that right now.
you know, I mean, it's really how it is, you know. And so and Antoine come down, Mr. Hood was helping out and brought all those fighters down there, and he's got a big group of people, and I got to step back and kind of look, because I'm an old man. You know, my future is I'm going to get some more fights and have a good time and then be done with it. But I was looking at, and you start looking at people that are training for fights, people that are new, and like people are reacting, oh, I got a fight coming up. You know, they're not really ready for the fight. They just react to it, and they're doing what they can to get ready for it. But then you train for a fight, you have a game plan, you have a purpose,
Yeah.
you see your outcome, and that's where you've been. I believe that's where you're heading, and you got that new coach that's adding more weapons in your toolbox. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's the direction you got to go and look for. And with Cody, I mean, he looks better that way. And look at Serge.
yeah,
Sergio Cortez, his first half, he just didn't care. He'd scrap with anybody. And you start looking at these guys, and now if Sergio dropped off half of his record, holy shit, he'd be all over. He'd be Bellator. I mean, he's taking off, and he's looking to take another fight here, and he's doing a fight to win that's coming up the same day as you.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I want to
I saw
split
that.
my day up and kind of run over there, then run over to you, go watch you guys. And so it's amazing to see all this happening, and you get this amateur career. And I kept telling you, it's a good thing that you got the loss.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the guys that just stepped up and like, how we're gonna do it, the old guys like us, we didn't have an am. We just said, all
Yeah,
right,
that's
we'll
what he
take the
was telling
fights.
me.
And so we just
Yeah.
went for it. And you have the amateur, and now you went through, had that huge battle, and then you lost in decision, and you had that blown up eye, and then
Yeah.
you look in your past, and you knew you were a knucklehead. Now you're making a direction. You're looking to be a better person for yourself and everybody watching you. And now you get to show it on Combate. And you're gonna fight somebody you know that could be a friend. It doesn't really matter, because at that point it's gonna be a better thing for you, I think, because it's your coming out party. And it's
Yeah.
not against somebody you don't know. You got a good idea where the game plan's going to go.
Yeah.
And this is a real put together a formed fight that's gonna probably help your career and maybe catapult it.
Absolutely, I feel the same way.
And so with your new guy doing, I mean, I'm still impressed with those elbows you're throwing. You know, you're throwing them right, and it looks good, and everything looks natural. But now, like you said, you know, you fought back then, and then now you get to put it on this.
Yeah.
That fight, that drive that I'm seeing and talking to you, like I can just feel talking with you. It's amazing to watch because you're still young.
Yeah.
The whole world's in front of you, and
Yeah,
and it's just like I said, it's your coming out party. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm excited. I'm ready. Yeah.
And what helps, and you'll learn, and you'll get to that part as well. What helped Van, I think, where his adjustments came in, is where he actually got to train with other veterans.
Yeah.
You know, other guys, I'm not gonna say at a higher level, but guys that are signed to organization with Hobby and work in training camps with Hobby. You know, for Roy Nelson and Chet Congo and all that.
Yeah.
And it elevated his ability,
I hear you.
even though he's been fighting a lot longer.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that too, where he can kind of discipline and then,
What's your guys' team? Okay.
I'm partnered with OKG and CBCA
What's
Yeah.
the other one called?
and Team Ochoa.
See, that one. You guys got a lot of. good
There's a
guys
lot of
there.
OGs from Team Ochoa.
a lot of the guys
lot
from
of
the res,
OGs.
man.
Yeah, I see them. Yeah.
I mean, it's like Jacob Jeff. He's the god. Like I call him the godfather at the Palace of MMA because a lot of the MMA, he knows everybody and trains with everybody out there. But he's a founding member. with
He's
Team
one of the
Ochoa.
main coaches, him and Nito Morales
And-
on there and stuff, and then Sergio Quinones.
It's
you know.
and we've had a lot of people come through. Alex Perez. And we had Mike Martinez, who was a black belt with Elite, and
Yeah.
he's got his own.
Yeah.
And there's people that came through there, and it's cool because when you look back to
That's
what you
old
did,
school stuff.
old
man.
school stuff. But what we tried to do was surround people that we thought either better at us at this or willing to take a punch, and you know that were as dumb as we are at the time. You know what I mean? Like let's try this. You know, and there's been times where we stood and just slung. And with bringing new coaching in and being expansive, some old school thought is like, oh, you're with this team, you stay with this team, you do this with your team.
I got you.
You know, I think once it starts opening up and everybody starts cross training,
Yeah.
you get a big piece of everybody.
And it's better like that.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
that's
it's
how you
better
get
like
you
that.
get a bit of every. I mean, back in the day, people, oh no, you can train with your trader.
Yeah,
No, dude, that's
'cause
how you
some
get
training
better.
Partners ain't even on the same level you are. I can be
Yeah.
in the gym and I really like the coach. The coach is cool, the gym's cool, but these guys that I'm training with, they ain't really on the level that
Right.
I'm hungry. I'm
Yeah.
on to eat. I'm trying to get
I mean,
it.
Hobby traveled north. He's traveled all around just to get different sights on people.
Yeah,
You know, and just there may be somebody down south that you're friends with, and he's like, hey, just come check this place out. And he
Yeah.
may be a smaller guy or a bigger guy, but he's going to give you more of the push of what you need.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I mean, the coaching, you always need your coaches you trust. I understand that, but you need to travel to and expand and bring other things into your repertoire because whatever you see.
Then you
from
start
these-
gauging your level where you're
Right.
at, and it's always good mentally so you can see where you're at. Because if you have a repetition of the same training partners, you're never gonna know.
You're not training for your
And then
fight.
you kind of get
That's tendencies.
stale a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you go out there and get like someone fresh,
Yeah.
brings out things that you didn't think you had, or things that, man, I thought I had that covered. Shit, how did you
Yeah.
figure it out? You know, and then you're helping them too.
I hear
You know, that's how it all helps, man. Like that, the days of, you know, just total dedication doesn't mean that you're disrespecting your team.
Yeah.
If it's a good team and good support group, they're gonna watch you. Hey, dude, you got it. We can only take you so much, man, so far. Because there's a lot of them that say that. In years, I used to tell them, even like when Doug first started, I said, dude, you guys are only getting so much stuff here. You guys need to go to Southern
Cross-training.
California. That's why when these guys come here, or Northern California, these guys kick ass, man, because they're
Yeah.
training with a whole nother level.
Yeah, I be seeing on social media dudes that train like way out, not even nowhere near over here, and they're
Yeah.
on fire.
And that's
Yeah.
what it takes to get good. That's what Alex did. You go to Team Ayama. He did so much stuff around here, and then once he got that invitation over there, he never came back. And now look at him.
doing
And
his thing
yeah.
now.
Some of the best fighters I ever trained with have
Yeah.
never fought a pro fight. They just don't have the time to put a camp in. And there's Sean Johnson. He's a CO, and he's one of the boxers. And I would spar with him nonstop, and he would kick my ass.
Yeah, I know
And
a lot of it.
and he was 10 years older, and he's like, "You're doing this." Like we'd break the round. He's like, "You're doing this, and this. Correct it." I'm like, "What the?" How are you coaching me and kicking my butt at the same time?
I know a lot of guys who are badass and those
Just
dudes
don't-
can fight, but they just don't really.
You know, they're there to train, and that's
Yeah.
great. And that's with expanding your world. You're going to see more and more. Like there's people falling through Oyamas that never fight, and then all of a sudden they got this huge class that rolls, and you're going to get 30 different looks that night because you're going to try rolling with this dude, and then rolling with this dude, and rolling with this dude, and then this girl's going to jump in and be like, all of a sudden submit the shit out of you. You're like, I thought all this was covered, you know. And so that I mean, it's a great thing. It adds some, like I said, always puts another tool in your toolbox. But at the same time, it humbles you because you're like, I thought I was gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I think you were gonna get smashed.
And that's it. You always have to have your mind open to learn, you know, like that too.
Yes.
I mean, you'll see a lot of guys, I'll go to a lot of gyms, not as much as I used to, but I still do. And I'll see a lot of, you know, guys like, whether it's OKG and stuff like that. And, you know, with excellent conditioning, you know, to get, if I had fighters, and I've had in the past, I would send them there, primarily not to change what they're doing, but because of the conditioning.
Yeah.
And, you know, and Javi's been going there for a long time, and there's a lot of stuff, because I've seen Javi from when he first started.
Yeah.
And he still had, you know, that shield
Yeah.
when he fights in the pocket. Now, a good friend of mine, Mitch Sandoval, is a boxing coach who actually was a coach for Joe Soto. And we coached together for years, and now took over Javi. And it's going to be another Javi, man. When Frank Mir's going to get knocked the fuck out. I'll put money on it now.
He just knocked out that white dude on.
Oh, Sergey Kornikov, he fought him a couple years back.
He
But,
laid him down. I
but-
saw it with Bellator, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was a raw version of him. And then
Yeah.
Yeah, that overhand.
The Javi now?
yeah, oh my. Dude, when Javi went for Roy Nelson,
Oh, yeah.
in my opinion, won the fight because they put a lot of money into it. Because
Oh, well, yeah.
if you score it out, I watched a couple times, I scored it out, and Javi won the fight. And then he had an injury to his leg, and he rushed the recovery back to fight Congo, and that wasn't the Javi that I know. You
And
know?
he fights a lot too, huh?
He does. He fights as much as he can, and then now he's going to fight Mir in Hawaii in opening. And Javi, he's taking all this serious. And I mean, we were there for the last podcast was with him and Joe, and he is just a different. He's just a different fighter.
Yeah, he's going to be. And in Javi's story, they brought him in Bellator as an opponent to
Yeah.
lose.
Oh, God.
And he kind of writ his own script and said, "Fuck you,
right.
I'm still here, 5 years later?"
That's right.
You
That's
know,
what they do.
find the bit, and he's still way younger than everybody, so it's kind of an
Right, dude,
investment.
Pico.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Man,
Pico, yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
when he knocked dude out and he's like, I'm here to stay.
Yeah.
And he's been knocking dudes out left and right.
I think with the addition to Mitch and his inside pocket striking, cleaning up that cover hand, I think it's going to
Yeah, he
be
dropped the
brutal.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to learn how to sit down on his punches, and Javi knocks guys out anyway, throwing with his arm. But when he sits down on his punches and the strikes and pivots, oh my God. Frank
Yeah,
Mir's going to be.
I mean, I've
They
been
think Chuck got brutal. This
Yeah.
fight coming up the 12th.
I just don't think Mir's taking him as serious as he needs to, and I haven't.
See him? He looked like he was a cokehead on
Dude,
the
how skinny was that
play-by-play for Chuck Liddell.
Dude, he looks super skinny. I was
Yeah,
like,
he looked super skinny. He was just like, my wife said, "Is that guy on something or what?" He was just like wired,
He's doing
man.
that weight cut, that white powder weight cut.
Something. But I think he's gonna try to grapple Javi, and Javi grapples like a little guy.
He does, and I mean, his cousin is the reason that he grapples like that. 135 pounds of Joe Soto is just. I mean, EBI too. He should have won it and he didn't. But I mean, just that guy is just a wonder when it comes because he's trained under Dave Terrell. And I mean, he's a leg lock specialist, and you go up there and you expect Javi to be me. You know, this is a traditional heavyweight, not that great on the ground.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's like dry humping like he's a monkey out of nowhere, and I'm like, what are you doing? How do you do that? He's just a good athlete all the way around.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. But the other thing I'm looking is with Fight to Win. There's like 36 fights.
Oh yeah, dude, and the best. What I like, because there's a lot, you know, I won't mention any names, but some guys out there that are always boasting about how they do and all this stuff and everything. This is cool. But this right here, I think is going to give a reality check to see how good they really are.
And it's a good, I mean, but it's a big time show. There hasn't.
It's awesome, dude. It is awesome.
The last time we had any big grappling show in the area was when they did that the grappling X at the Palace.
Oh,
That's the last time we had a big show.
Oh, it wasn't. That was.
Was it a grappling
No,
X?
it wasn't grappling. I
Angel's on there
wish.
too, Angel
I
from
wish.
Halo?
Huh?
Angel from Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
I
yeah.
want.
He's
I'm
gonna
excited to
go
watch.
against the main guy from Clever Jiu Jitsu. The guy.
Yeah, he's going against Clever.
Yeah, that's
Louisiana.
gonna. That's the fight. That's the one I'd like to see.
Mason's on there too from D.
Fowler,
Yeah.
He is a-
Mason Fowler's badass, dude.
Serge is on there. There's a ton of. I mean, just
A lot of Mark Dela Cruz is on there.
Billy Evangelista.
Billy Evangelista. I mean, there's a lot of who's who. Tom Knox, Archie's son's on there, man. Right on. I mean, it's kind of neat, but back in the day, they did have tournaments like that.
but not in this level. You know what I mean?
They did, but it was in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
War
They
on
never
the-
had it
They
here.
had like war on the mat. Now they got a lot of money, where it could be funded because in this day and age, in the way of the world, has everybody into martial arts, little kids, the bully,
anti-bullying.
stuff and everything like that. There's going to be so much support than it normally would be, particularly for martial arts. Everybody's involved, whether it's to go and watch Combate or go and watch a grappling tournament.
Whole lot of fighting.
And they've never had that kind of support. And to have that here at a local venue, I think they would need something bigger, but that place is going to be sold out.
I mean, it's
Because they're having the Armory, aren't they? They're having at the Armory,
The fairgrounds, no?
or at the fairgrounds?
Yeah, it's a fairgrounds.
Oh, okay, yeah. So see what happened, because we've had grappling nexus at the fairgrounds. I mean, I think boxing even there too, but, and it got packed. I think this is gonna be, especially the way where they have tables and all this stuff takes up a lot of room.
Well, I think they're having that big old covered area there. It's a huge area too. They're gonna have
Yeah.
multiple mats going. They got it.
Wow, yeah, that's gonna be,
It'll be good, huh?
Grappler's Quest is the one they had.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. I
Yeah.
still have that T-shirt too.
Yeah, Grappler's
But
Quest.
it was crazy because that grappling squad, it was what 8-9 years ago.
Yeah,
But they had an absolute where $10,000 prize, and then didn't Josh Barnett come out for that?
I think something like that. Yeah, they had some
I mean, Josh
big
Barnett,
people here.
world heavyweight, comes out to Leavenworth because there's a $10,000 absolute championship. I'm like, that level just shot straight up. It was crazy. It was just insane. And so, I mean, this with the grappling this weekend, it's a huge fight weekend for us. I mean, like I said,
It's on the same day too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Christmas
That's
cake
what-
early.
that's
There's
what's-
so much
that's
fighting.
what's-
And you got
that's
that,
what's
and then
tough,
on
man.
the 410th, you got Bellator coming up, and I mean, there's so much to look forward to, and you're right in the middle of it.
I know. And then to have the two big events on the same day across town from each other like that too. And then the next day, our boy Brian Ortega will get that strap from Max Holloway on the 8th, December 8th. So it's a lot of activity coming, man. A lot of stuff to talk about. And we got a lot of local people that are involved in it. So, we're very, very blessed to be a part of what we're doing right now.
Oh, yeah.
And then, obviously, Combates America, things go good. I think we'll be doing our podcast live there from the weigh-ins too.
Oh, is that
so
right?
official weigh- So you got to catch us
You gotta
there.
come by
man.
at least say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah,
you
get
gotta
back
crash
and
it, man.
after you
Yeah.
grab something to eat, come back and the toast went up on a Thursday night because we'll be there. And then just a lot of stuff. I'm excited, man. This
I don't even
new-
know what time the weigh-ins are.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Let us know.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Let Archie know.
Why don't you know?
Yeah. But yeah, those guys are good people. Are good communication. I think even James as well is in good communication with Combates, one of our other guys that are part of our staff here. And then we also have Paul Elizondo is going to be fighting Combates. He's
that's
part
right.
of he's here part of our crew.
And,
The little
Evans-
Paul, little 125.
Yeah, Evans fighting
Evan
too.
Solario is going to be on there. Man, it's crazy. Kind of support, man.
Yeah.
Forget about, hopefully, instead of Black Friday, buy a ticket, man, to
Yeah,
one of these
for real.
things, support, man.
Get out there, you gotta
You know?
catch it.
So you got, with all this coming up, you got a lot of people in life that have to make sacrifices. Is there anybody you want to thank right now? I mean, that's during your training camp. And,
just my coaches. Chino, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He trains at D-Throne. He's the head coach there. And then Manny and his father too. His father's been helping out a lot. And my girlfriend, man, she's been a real support. Been helping me out a lot.
It's crazy how, I mean, I've fought many times with girlfriend, without a girlfriend, and having somebody that's stable and balanced, it really does balance your life. And I don't think you understand the sacrifice she makes too to let you go out and do what your dream is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now sometimes I gotta step back and be like, think about what she's going through. You know what I mean? Because I make a lot of sacrifices, a lot.
And when you're going through a weight cut and you get all bitchy, you still got to do it. You love it, you know. Because weight cuts ain't fun, man. It's a toll on you personally. I mean, doing that, but then the rest of your family, they want to help, they want to do something, and then you get in the ring and the stress around that, and you're like, how's this gonna happen?
Yeah, I know, and they be all hitting me up like my fights when I be fighting amateur. My phone be going off the hook, and I'm back there like getting ready to fight. I'm like, man, quit! I don't want it. You know what I mean?
I put mine.
Shut it down.
I put mine. I download my playlist. I turn my phone off from Do Not Disturb and airplane mode, and I hook up my thing, and I have my music, and I talk to my dudes.
My last like 4 fights, I fought the main event. So my fight was the last fight of the night. And we got to be there right at 5 o'clock.
Fight check.
And I'm not fighting until 10:30.
Yeah.
So right when I walk in the room, I go right into the empty table and I take the table cover off. I just jump under the table and just lay there, relax, watch some fights, something.
Yeah.
For like an hour before I got to go out there and handle business. I can get ready to warm up.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, because you still got to be ready, you got to be fighting, but you're in the back, and there's not comfortable backstage.
Then some dudes are coming back in dripping blood, just all face all smashed in. The last time I fought, some dudes in the corner throwing up. He had his whole face was gushing blood. Man, and I'm like, man, I gotta get ready for it.
Like, how bad you leave that ring in there, man?
Yeah, I'm like, the couple times when I fight, I walk in there, and because my last 4 fights were the main event, and I get in there, and there's just dried blood all over. I'm like, damn.
I was in a
These boys
kickboxing.
got busy before I came here.
I was in a kickboxing tournament in Minnesota, and I went up there, and I was the 16th fight. I had 20 fights the whole night, and I was 16th fight. Go up there, and as I'm walking out, the ref goes, hold on. I'm like, all right. I'm like, why? He goes, look at the ring. I look over, it's just a hot mess, dude. It's just blood and nastiness. So they took
You guys dry this up first?
They took a mop and knocked it down. And I get in there and I asked my coach, I'm like, dude, can I have the towel? And he's like, what? I'm like, I can't even stand here. I feel like I'm going to slip and fall. You know, because I like it with that blood. Like when you felt it, just got it.
My boy Rocky, he's the one who sets up the octagon for 559. I always tell him before I go fight, I'm like, hey man, I just do wipe that, make sure the octagon's cleaned up. Because I remember like my second fight, like right before the referee was telling us if we're ready to fight, like I felt my foot step in a puddle of sweat. Like, you know what I mean?
I've swung before and been on a mat that's slippery and swung and just boom, just flatten out and pop up real quick. You're like, nothing happened. It wasn't you. Don't get excited about this. Yeah,
a lot of fight news on.
It gets pretty brutal, man.
Yeah.
I remember, what's that one fighter's name? Joe
Riggs.
Joe Riggs. Diesel. I was at WC, if it was WC, God, I want to say 7 or 8, and Joe Riggs fought Alex Stiebling.
Yeah, I remember I was there.
It was in the tent. Oh my God, that was the most brutal fight, I swear to God. And Alex Stiebling ended up winning by triangle after he just got his ass kicked. Well, later on that night, we went to Denny's right there in Hanford. We're sitting here, my partner's sitting here, and all of a sudden Alex Stiebling walks in Denny's. Everybody looks and like, everybody got up to leave. They didn't want to eat no more, man. This guy did look, oh my God.
You remember the Olaf John Palacios fight?
Yeah, that was the same first one that happened then.
Remember when they fought? I remember Josh was Josh John. I can't remember his first name, but anyways, he pulled,
Rosenthal.
Yeah, no, it was Palacios. They're
yeah.
that 155 thing.
Yeah.
He pulled something out of his nose, and it just started bleeding more. And all of a sudden, the crowd erupted, and he's like, yeah, and I'm like, what the hell did you pull out of your face, man? And just blood started gushing. This back in the day, it was just murderous, and people were fighting. And like you said, you were 10 seconds in. I was like, that made me like just throw me back 10, 15 years. I'm like, man, back when they were just a scrap for no reason and just get it, that's.
They're brutal. Those are some brutal fights. Back then, man, in the early days of World Extreme Cage Fighting.
Oh yeah.
They also got a tournament going too, the Combat America.
Yeah.
They got all the regular fights going on, including mine. And then right after all the regular fights, they're gonna have a 8-man tournament.
Yep.
Fighting for $100,000 or something like that.
Yeah, they're trying to do it like.
Would they fight like a minute or something? They have like a minute round or something like that?
I don't know. I think I've
Is that right?
been.
I was reading it somewhere. Something they have like a minute round, and then the winner of that will advance to whoever fights the other round, and then the main fight will be 3 5-minute rounds.
They got to go in there and get busy.
Yeah,
Back to work. Huh?
yeah. So they like a minute.
I wonder if that's sanctioned by the state or if they're just doing that under their own title. I mean, I
don't know how it has to be.
I never even heard of another promotion doing it like that.
Well,
No.
WC used to do. They did a heavyweight
They
tournament
did
the same night,
205.
and it was 205.
They
Because I
did the
remember-
heavyweight too, but they did a 205. George
Because
Oliveira,
Brandon
Justin Justin Levins, Scott Smith.
Yeah, and Brandon Vieira was in one of those. I
Yeah,
remember.
and the heavyweights, they did do that. Yes.
But it was crazy because I mean they literally it was 3 5-minute rounds and they went or there's 2 5-minute rounds and they fought and then you go backstage and you're like, all right, you ready to go again? The guy's like, oh, I'm gonna fight this one, and like they were disappointed. I'm like, oh my god! But they were great fights. I mean, they got after it, but I mean, you got to worry that they don't get cut so you get eliminated.
Or if somebody gets hurt, you have to have an alternate.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and you don't
insane.
really feel nothing until after the fight.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I
So
mean,
when
about
you
10
walk
minutes after
back-
the fight, that's when you're like,
Yeah,
oh, what the,
arm, can't feel my arm.
And they had to wait. I mean, there was like they had this one, then they gave them like an hour break while their fights were going, so they can gear up and get ready for their fight. So they had a little bit of rest. And it just, now I'm not sure how come. I got to look into that how Combate is going to do that because that's a big deal. I mean, they've been pumping that up for a while now, and that's what the world's biggest trophy. The trophy's like as big as I am.
Oh,
That
see,
thing was huge. That thing was huge, man. For the pictures I seen.
I mean, for 100,000, I might jump in that too. At first, I was like, damn, that's crazy. These fools, they're going back to back, they're fighting each
Yeah.
other. But for 100,000,
There you go.
sign me up.
Yeah, let's get it right now.
But yeah.
Heck yeah. And I'm sure they'll do more of them. I mean, that's kind of like what this is something that they're bringing out towards the new year. They're always doing something different. Combates, that's what's good about it because their shows aren't real big, the venues actually, but the quality in their production is really good. I know I've watched a few of them on TV and stuff like that, and even been to a couple of them down there in Los Angeles. And it's under a small, like almost like the Hanford Memorial, like kind of design like that.
I think they're a pretty smart organization though, because the UFC just left the Save Mart Center. They had a venue at the Save Mart Center,
Right.
and then right after that, now Combate the Americas, which is a good thing to.
Big deal, man.
Yeah.
It's a real big deal. And, Karina, she fought for him, and in my opinion, how the venue and the organization treats the fighters is kind of how you can gauge what the event's going to be like.
Yeah.
And she had nothing but like great things to say because I mean she was up there, she's fought with Bellator, and they took care of her.
Yeah.
But she said Combate by far took care of her better than everybody else, and that's amazing because I mean they are up and coming, and usually
Is that the girl that's fighting on
Yeah.
the card?
Yeah.
Also? Oh, I met her today at the eye
Porterville.
doctor.
yeah.
Yeah, Porterville.
She's a beast.
Is she?
Oh my god! I think the hardest I've ever been kicked in the leg was by her in training. Her little 125 like blew me up and it hurt. I was like, why is this? I mean,
She's fighting at 115, man.
She cut down to 115.
Oh yeah.
She's fighting
she
115, that girl from Peru. She's gonna fight that girl from Peru.
She said she had like 9 fights already.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
a beast.
yeah. But you know what? From the beginning, I seen her when she first started, and she was just a badass, mean Mexican girl, man.
Yeah.
That's all she was. Went in there and a tough, like a tomboy Mexican chick, and she fought. Really no experience, just what she knew. And then now, I mean, look at in the early times, She got a Gladiator Challenge belt, I think, in her second fight. They never gave it to her, but she won that belt on her second pro fight. And then, after she was married and stuff like that, and then had, a couple of kids and stuff like that. Her husband was kind of real possessive, didn't like her going to the gym, so finally she said, this thing.
I was sitting down talking to her father for a minute. I want to bring
He's
her-
good people,
Yeah,
man.
real good people. It seems like they came from like a struggle background, so it's
Yeah,
fine. Yeah.
good people. And now with the experience, I mean, look at coming right out of the gate. I mean, she had Amber Tackett, who was a pro boxer.
Yep.
When her comeback over there at Gladiator Challenge, went the distance. Then after that, she goes fight Zoila Frosto, who's been well decorated first Bellator women's champion, and Zoila couldn't stop her.
Yep.
And that's not with the experience she has now.
Yeah.
I think the experienced person now could go back in those fights and make everything right. That girl now.
Yeah. She hasn't fought since she fought in Bellator, and that fight went the distance. She fought hard in that, and now
That girl was just too big, dude.
she was way bigger than her, and she
Yeah.
was fighting a weight class up.
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Small girl too.
Yeah, she's small.
Well, she's never stopped training. I mean, she's continued on from since that
Dude,
fight.
she had a fucking torn ACL or MCL.
And she was in the gym, like,
and she was in there still training.
Being cruel.
She never had surgery. They did
She saw the bruises on my legs. I got bruises all over my legs, and I was like, yeah, I've been training. She had bruises all
up and down.
Oh, yeah.
up and down her. They're like black. I was
Here's
like,
the
damn, I don't cover
here's
mine
the
up
deal
now.
with her. You'll never know that she hurts. You never know. And then all of a sudden she'll
She's a warrior, man. She's a true warrior.
She gets in the ring, spars with Hobby, spars with me. It doesn't matter who she squares up with, and
Yeah.
she's ready to go. And I mean, it's funny because I watch her fight and I see a lot of you and her and you, because all of a sudden like it's time to go and you guys don't back down. You guys keep walking into it. You know what I mean? That's amazing.
Well,
I was talking to her
her-
dad. I could tell by the way he was talking to me and saying about her and stuff. I could tell that it came from like a struggle.
Well, that
background.
last fight that she had in Combates against the poster child, that girl from Mexico, that boxer. And then, she took it at short notice, went in there, and they brought her in as an opponent. She went in there and pulled out a draw.
She scrapped hard.
If she would have been in better shape, she would have finished that girl.
She was
Little bit
training.
cardio,
but
yeah.
she was training, but she wasn't training for a fight. So now she's been training towards to get to this point because she's been wanting to fight before in the year, and the arena they're going to get is totally different package. So that's awesome.
It's going to be good, man. Happy for her.
There's a lot happening at this end of the year. You know what I mean?
And I don't even know the other guys that are fighting on the card, but I was watching the clips and I was like, dang, it's gonna be a good night.
Yeah.
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
a
It's
good
going
night.
to be good, dude.
Good
You're gonna be
action.
part of it, man.
Yeah, $30 and tickets are $30. It's well.
I mean,
worth
that's
Oh yeah,
cheap.
it's super cheap. That's super
Yeah.
cheap, especially for the venue you're getting. It's
Yeah, the same
televised. I mean,
I mean, you go
You be on
to
TV.
the amateurs. What do amateurs charge?
$30.
Damn near $30.
So it's like, if you had your choice, which one would you go to?
Right.
I'd go in there like that and get a chance to be on TV.
All right.
You know? So, but no, overall, we're very lucky at this time right now in Central California to be able to have these organizations coming out there. So people go out there and support, whether it's for the grappling tournament or for MMA, go out there and support, and that basically keeps the door open for these guys to continue to come back, man. If we don't go and support them, then why would they want to come back?
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
That's what it takes. Like that. Well, let's see, what do you guys want to talk a little bit about the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, I want to talk about Alex's fight coming up with Benavidez.
How do you
His
see?
last fight was dope.
Yeah.
I told him that too. I saw him at the last weigh-in. I was like, man, dude, your last knockout, I lit my fuse up. It had me running. It was like midnight, and I saw it. I was like, damn. And I know he came from 559 too, so I was like, man, I'm trying to be next. I want to be the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's on the
doing
path
it.
that you're going. He's laid that path out.
Yeah, well, I'm right behind him. What's up? I'm trying to get it.
He earned his stripes, man. He took over 30 fights before he even got to the contender. And then at that point where you're at the contender,
Yeah,
for
he had a
UFC,
lot of-
you have to show up, and he showed up in big ways. You know,
He had a lot of setbacks, but he didn't give up.
he kept grinding and grinding. And
Yeah, he did.
It's there's a lot to be said to that because everybody's like, oh, he's new to UFC and he's gonna fight Benavidez. I mean, he's got a lot of fights under his belt. I mean, Benavidez has been around for a long time, but he's been in at that stage for a long time with Alpha Male, and I mean, it helps to have a gym that is owned by Uriah Faber that's good with UFC. It helps you walk in. It's good to be a training partner of Uriah Faber, when he's getting up for fights, and it gets you in. But Alex took the grunt way. He went in, earned his stripes, took doubts, kept refreshing himself, had to do for him, and got to UFC. And with your going, you should sit down and talk with him and see the challenges he had to go through because he's a local guy and he's super personal.
Jeremy had posted up a post about him and he was talking about all the adversity he had to go through. You know what I mean? Basically, he was saying in the comment that he seen him shine and he also seen him through adversity and now he's doing big things in the UFC now. So no matter what, just keep your head up and keep pushing forward, even if you do.
If it's your dream and your goal in life to do this, you have to grind.
Yeah,
and you always have to be under pressure on it. And so if you're not pushing towards it, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
And one of my biggest fears is to give up, and I don't want to give up. I want to keep this going because I know tons of fighters that they fell off. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of them that are badass. A lot of dudes that I'm like, damn, that fool's bad. That fool could be fucking dudes up. You know what I mean? He gives me a run for my money, but he ain't doing it.
It takes a lot to be. I mean, everybody can be a street fighter or a bar fighter. I mean, you just got to show up one time and throw some hands. But the dedication it takes to actually be a functional career fighter.
Absolutely.
I mean, to get the numbers, and you got to stick with it. I mean, and everybody's like, well, how come we didn't do this in this fight? Well, you weren't with his camp when he was running out of money, and then he didn't have any food, or I mean, there's adversities you go through, and it's
I ain't
you still
have the
have
gas to get out there.
You know how many times I've been halfway to somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, can you come sweep me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be right there." So get back and you gotta have
$5, man.
You got $5, like seriously.
Gas prices going up. Man.
It's like a gallon, but there's been a million times where I've been just trying to go train somewhere, and they're like, "Yeah, I got a fight coming up. I just need some help." And I'm like, "All right, man, what do you need? I just come take me so we can go over here and spar." And I've changed where I'm going to go train to go over here and get some sparring done. It turns into a family thing. You got to like I said, you got to surround your people with people that are better than you that you think can benefit you and that are down for the cause. Because sometimes you just need this to get here. And it's maybe 2 inches to somebody else's life that they got to take a step, but it could be 2 miles to you because you got to go through that whole thing. And it's just a bump, and the adversity makes you a better fighter because you've earned it at that point.
Yeah.
So it becomes a value versus just a given.
Talking good, yeah. I hear you.
So, but it's super exciting. He's got his fight coming up. I always ask every person that comes in here. I mean, after the weight cut, what's your favorite food to eat afterwards?
Man, I don't know, probably In-N-Out.
In-N-Out,
that's
a good one.
Double animal style.
Either that or there's a solid breed. I was just tell you a place where I go to, but it's right there with my house. I don't even want to say where I live. But bomb Mexican burrito.
There you go.
Right around the corner from where we live.
The Anaconda. There's one right around the corner from our house. Right at the taco truck. You go there 24/7 to follow the line.
Exactly. There's always music playing.
And a cold beer.
Yeah.
Beer's always a good thing at the end of it. You know what I mean? It tastes better after a weight cut. It always does.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, I mean, we're coming down. We're going to be winding down. Next week, big. Well, we should be probably during the week announce basically what we're going to be doing. We'll make an announcement. Everything looks positive that we will be on site for the official weigh-ins of Combate America. We'll also have people covering the fight to win, correspondents doing play-by-play, and even maybe a little quick video or something like that. But I know they'll also have some money shot pictures out there. But we'll have people at both events. I'll be at Combate's, producer Archie. My partner here, Van, will be in Combate America, as well as other staff members and stuff to bring you. You don't have it on TV. Usually I think it's on Univision or
one, isn't it?
So some of those a Mexican station or Telemundo or something like that.
They're gonna try to put me on there. I got they contacted me today and were telling me to send them photos of myself to put me on the news for that. On
Nice.
that. What's that?
Telemundo?
Yeah.
Or Televisión, one of those, because I know they're here and they do a lot of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
so
huge.
that's awesome, dude. That's what helps.
A lot of people been reaching out to me. I just got before I came a dude from ESPN. He says he's working with Combat America. He wanted to do a video shoot with me. He's gonna be flying in. He's like, you're on the West Coast. I was like, yeah, I'm in Fresno, and he's like, okay. I guess he's coming in on Wednesday. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm blessed.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
and
welcome to
that's
pro
it.
career.
You know
Dude,
what I'm
that's
saying?
crazy stuff, right?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
trying to blow up.
It's about time. We've been waiting that for you.
So we don't have anything so we can put on from MMA Fight Pass. We gear him up, man.
Throw a hand on
But no, I mean it's all due, dude. I mean you put in the work, and these are the rewards, man. Like they say, you know, great sacrifices comes great rewards.
Yeah.
And you're paying to do, and everything is just a moment in time, man.
My
Absorb
favorite
it.
word I always say, hard work, baby. Hard
Hell
work.
yeah.
Every time I record or something, I'm in the gym, hard work, baby.
Yeah.
Hard work.
That's how it works. All right, we're going to call it a night here. Appreciate everybody. Shout out to Spike and Rail. This is the HammerFist podcast, brought to you by the guys here at MMA Fight Pass, as well as Glepler Digital Media. And Eddie out there, if I sell you MMA, if you have a gym that you want basically designed, the guy can do it. Equipment, like I said before, or if you're just a fan, want a walkout shirt or an event shirt or whatever, he'll hook you up, mention MMA Fight Pass, or, you know, you don't even have to mention that. He'll probably know, and he'll give you a killer deal. Appreciate everybody. Continue to spread the word, and we'll see you guys next week. Shout out to Big Al and my partner here, Big Van Palacios. Thank you for watching. Right on.
Cool, man. That was good.
Yeah.
Right on, bro.
I
See how
highly
easy that
appreciate it.
is?
Thank you very much.
So you don't have anybody kicking down anything on you yet? You don't have no sponsorships or anything?
I got not really.
You talk to Alonzo.
I'm gonna call Alonzo.
Oh,
Yeah,
Alonzo
I need some.
about millions.
He this guy right here,
About millions.
he brings you in like a family member, dude.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's a good kid. I've never met him. I always wanted to get on the show, and then we just missing, so he could talk about
I
what
know
his
a lot of
brand
people always
is.
tell me, you're gonna sponsor. I'm like, no, I got a mouth guard and I'm ready to fight.